Hi everyone, this is Edie with Run Repeat. I'm here today to talk about the New Balance 1080 version 10. It's very different from the previous versions of the New Balance 1080. It is a max cushion daily training road shoe. What is different about this is pretty much everything. Where to start? Let's start at the upper. So the upper is a knit, very stretchy, breathable material. I don't know if you can see it here, but super stretchy, like a pair of leggings. The laces are also a flat lace, but they're stretchy as well. The heel cup and the heel counter are actually pretty similar to their newer versions of the shoe. It's got a rigid or more rigid heel counter here, which keeps your foot stable, and it has this flare. But the flare is actually not like the one on the New Balance Beacon version 2. I actually didn't like that one. I like this one quite a bit. It doesn't irritate your skin. It's got some padding in here. Pretty comfortable in the heel. The knit upper is really comfortable, but even though it's stretchy, it does a nice job. These logos, I think, serve as a way to really lock down your midfoot. It feels very secure when you have it on. I didn't have any issues. It didn't feel like my foot was sloppy in there. This uses the Fresh Foam X, which is different than their previous iterations. Honestly, it didn't feel that different. The only difference I could see, it was a bit more durable on longer runs. It didn't break down in the middle of my long runs. It's got a pretty wide base here. It's got a wider forefoot with a narrower heel area. So it's really designed for the long run. I know you can't see it because it's all the same color, but it's a solid rubber piece. All of the rubber components are broken up, so they have some grooves in here that break it up so it doesn't feel just like a stiff piece of rubber. It works well with the shoe. Getting to how it performed, the midsole, like I said earlier, felt great. It gave you all of the padding that you needed for a maximalist trainer. It didn't feel too spongy, it didn't feel too springy. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, or I would say is the most pillowy soft shoe, but it worked well. It is a little heavier than a lot of my other shoes, but with all of the rubber, the midsole, the upper, everything, it's not surprising that it's a little heavier. I didn't mind it. I wouldn't recommend this to race in. If you're one of those who prefers to have a lot of midsole on your running shoes, this is a great option. There are some things that I didn't like about it, chief among them being the way that the front of the shoe is engineered. You'll see here that it has a curve, which obviously is supposed to help with toe off and all of that. What I found is when I'm running in it, or even just standing around, it forced my toes upward. So it wasn't like a lot of different running shoes that have that same design feature. It felt like it was pushing up against my toes. On runs that were 10 miles or longer, it really started to bother that foot. So I ended up not using this shoe for my longer runs. So for me, 2-hour 10-mile run might be an hour and a half. So it might not bother you. I don't know. I'm not that fast. But for me, it wasn't my favorite. If those types of things don't bother you, then this is definitely one that you'd want to consider. But it has all the cushion. It's very comfy. Other than those things that I didn't like, which are very specific to my foot shape and my foot strike, it was a great shoe. The only other thing I would recommend is to go in store and try on a pair, because I had to go a full size up on this shoe. it's kind of funky. And I think it has to do with the narrowness of the front of the shoe, and quite possibly the upturn that is built into the front. But that is it for me today. I would say this is a good shoe, not a great shoe. If I could export this upper onto every shoe I own, I would love to do that. But the overall ride was good. All right, that's it. Thanks everyone.